Hi everyone, this is the Integrated Marketing Communications presentation for the University of Nebraska Press, presented by Emily Giller, Jeff Winter, and myself, Alyssa Wyant. Today we're going to be looking at a few different things: the situation analysis and background information, the marketing opportunities, the statement of purpose and objectives, the SWOT analysis, the methodology and marketing analysis, the Marcom plan, which includes targeting, positioning, the Marcom mix, messaging, and media selection. So just a little bit of background on the University of Nebraska Press. It was founded in 1941 and is located in downtown Lincoln, so some of you may have heard of it before. They publish typically around 170 titles per year, from anything regarding Native studies, history, sports, and American and cultural studies. They have 3 imprints, including Bison Books, the Jewish Publication Society, and Ponomac Books. As a company, they employ about 45 staff members to handle more of the business side of things, including things like finance, marketing, and book publishing. They also have sales representatives around the United States and distributors in both Canada and Europe. Some marketing opportunities that we saw for the University of Nebraska Press was that they had little local competition. Any competition that was in Lincoln was actually smaller scale and of less caliber than the University of Nebraska Press. They also have the opportunity to find new customers, either in the new to market customers or customers that are actually willing to switch brands. They could expand into printing, and they could also partner with local publishers. So the objective for this project and scope are really to identify the best marketing communication tactics for the University of Nebraska Press to use to reach the local Lincoln market. More specifically, we're hoping that this will raise brand awareness in the Lincoln area, increase the job awareness among the local UNL graduates, and influence local publishers to sign with the University of Nebraska Press. So in examining our SWOT analysis, we looked at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of University of Nebraska Press as a whole. And what we found was the strengths really was that they had a great reputation with booksellers. They're nationally recognized, and they have several well-known and well-established authors. Some of their weaknesses included that they weren't really well-known in the Lincoln market. They're often confused for the Lincoln school newspaper, and they're unable to reach those higher levels in the brand adoption process. And they really lack the data that's needed to reach that local market. So the opportunities, as we mentioned, was that there was an emerging local market, there's a recruitment opportunity for potential employees, and there's that opportunity for new publishing partners. Now, some of the threats that we identified was that there's smaller publishers in the local market. They leverage multiple brands, so it could get confusing. And the University of Nebraska Press is very selective about the books that it acquires. They're really looking for those scholarly or educational books. So examining the competitor analysis, we found that there's not very many direct local competition. However, there are some more indirect competition that are a little smaller caliber printing presses. And that includes like the Blackwaters Press, Sparkwheel Press, Morris Publishing, Creighton University Press, and the University of Iowa Press. Now, some of the ones that are a little bit more in scope of being direct competitors would be Creighton University Press and the University of Iowa Press, because those are more closely located to that Lincoln area that this communication plan would be targeting. So I'm going to pass it off to Emily, and she will talk about the methodology.
Thanks, Alyssa. Now for our methodology and research analysis section, we felt that taking an analytical approach and looking at businesses within the local area was the best method for coming up with new marketing strategies. When doing this, we found that there are multiple companies that focus on publishing poetry and verse. There are multiple do-it-yourself publishing companies as well, such as Morris Publishing, that take a much simpler approach. They're very much self-publishing companies, which is not what UNP does. We also decided to look at other university presses as well. When doing this, we found that UNP is very innovative in the way that they publish material. They're very well known for publishing certain areas, and that can lead to a certain notoriety. For instance, they're known for publishing translated works, and they're also known for publishing a lot of electronic versions of books. And this is really important to have niche areas. However, sometimes be known for a niche area, your material can then become stagnant due to its content. So we suggested that UMP look at publishing in different areas such as the social sciences because those tend to be a lot more newsworthy and create a lot more buzz. And by creating that buzz, it also creates brand awareness. And then eventually that brand awareness will be adopted into the local market. For targeting, we decided to focus mainly on individual customers in the Lincoln market. We decided to look at individual customers mainly because UMP already has a really good relationship with retailers and bookstores. It's really the individual customers that don't know what UMP is or what they do. So our main focus is the individual customers. And like I said, we're focusing on the Lincoln area. However, we think UMP can use our strategies later on to focus on Nebraska as a whole and then later focus on the Midwest as a whole. For positioning, we decided that UMP should position itself as a major name brand publisher that offers lots of opportunities to customers, but stays true to developing and publishing the ideas of the local community. We think that by showing community involvement, UMP can really boost its reputation and bring in new prospective customers that may not have known what UMP is or what they publish. We also think that by being involved in the community, it'll also help UMP nationally. We found that many companies today prosper and maintain control of vast portions of the market by taking innovative approaches while staying true to their roots. For our Mrkt mix, we decided to go with a 50% sponsorship, 20% direct mail, and 30% digital. For our marketing message and media selection, through our research, we decided that UMP really needs to be the regional voice for Nebraska. As pretty much the main publishing house in Nebraska, we think it's important that UMP has the message that they are supporters of literacy and educational initiatives in Nebraska. We think this is very important to position themselves and really carry that message throughout any local campaigns that they do. For our media selection, a lot of our media we chose revolves around promoting a partnership with the Lincoln Public Libraries. They hold a summer reading program that we think UMP should help sponsor. This goes along with carrying that message that they are supporters of literacy and education in Nebraska. We want to use press releases, and we wrote a draft press release that can be used by UMP later on. And we think the press releases will help let the media know and the Lincoln public know about the summer reading program. We also know that UMP has an extensive email list, and we think that UMP should utilize that email list, especially for local customers on the email list, to let them know about the summer reading program and any other local initiatives that UMP does. Also, we want to utilize UMP social media platforms. We think it will help promoting the summer reading program on social media, especially if people see the summer reading program mentioned on UMP's social media platforms. It'll really push the message that UMP is a supporter of literacy in Nebraska, that they are supporting this program to get younger children involved in reading early on. And we also think that there can be a mutually beneficial relationship between UMP and the libraries. We think UMP should work with the libraries to get information mentioned in their newsletters and any program notices that the libraries put out, especially if they're going out to cardholders. We think it's really important coming from the library, having UMP mentioned in their newsletters to really show that there is that support there and there is that partnership there. And the reason we chose this mix of media is because we looked at the U.S. Census and found that in Nebraska, the population is about 25% of people 18 and younger. There's also about 14% of people 65 and older. So we chose this mix because we wanted to make sure that we were able to target and reach multiple age groups in Nebraska and specifically Lincoln. And we think by using traditional and digital media, we are able to do this. And in summary, we feel that we did reach our objectives. We were able to suggest ways for UMP to get their brand out in front of the local Lincoln market. We also were able to identify local competition that UMP was not aware of previously. And by coming up with a message, we were able to leverage UMP as a supporter of all literacy and educational initiatives in Nebraska, which we feel is really important for getting their brand out there. And as I mentioned, we want to use 50% sponsorships, digital marketing at 30%, and traditional marketing, direct mail at 20% to expand UMP's brand awareness in the Lincoln local market. So again, overall, we feel we were able to reach our objectives and help UMP come up with some ideas that they can use for now and further down in the future to reach not only the Lincoln market, but eventually Nebraska and then the Midwest. So thanks so much for listening to our presentation. We look forward to hearing all your feedback and answering any questions you may have. Thanks.